So I am going to attempt to make a fabric journal using the zine concept. So I'm using fabric, and I'm going to fold the fabric the way I would fold a piece of paper to make a zine, which is pretty much in half and then fold it in half again and then fold in half again. So you're essentially making eight blocks, as you can see, 4 here and 4 on the other side. I'm going to fold it in half the opposite direction, and what I want to do is I want to cut on this center fold just up to the corner of where that next intersection would be. So hopefully you can see that just this center section has been cut, and what I'm going to try and do is prop it up and open that gap in such a way that I can sort of squeeze these pieces together like the way you see it. I don't know how to verbalize it. And then it's really just a matter of, adjusting the quote-unquote pages to rest as neatly and as smoothly as possible. But we're not going for perfect, we're just going for function at this point. So I'm calling this little bundle a signature, and in this signature there are 4 pages. There are also what I will call pockets, but we're going to address that later. Right now I'm just focusing on the pages, and as I give it a finger press, I'm showing you here the middle is where I'm going to do the sewing of my signature into my cover. So yeah, we're pretty much ready to start assembling. So for my cover, I decided to use this fabric that I've been doing some slow stitching on that I really didn't have an intended purpose for. I've marked where I think my signatures are going to go, but I think they're going to be kind of thick, so this will probably change. And again, I'm not going for perfection. This is what the front of the cover is, just a bunch of dashes and X's, but I think it's just going to be cute. So this is my Chunky Monkey signature, and it's going to be fine in that first spot where I've lined up for my signatures, but I know that the ones to follow are going to have to shift over, and again, it's going to be perfectly fine. The back cover, I actually have not cut it down to size because I figured my signatures were going to be thick. So I've pinned each of my little mini fabric collages onto a page where I want them to fall, and I've done this so that I can remember where I want to sew them onto the signature background. But I also need to do this because when you open this up, as you will see here, they don't all lay in the same direction, and that's because of the way that you fold and put this together. So like those bottom 2 squares are actually facing in a different direction than the top row, and those 2 right blank spaces are what on a zine would actually be your front cover and your back cover. So in a previous video, I showed you how I have learned to make a very simple knot at the end of my string. So if you have not seen that video, go check it out, and I do try to explain it step by step, and it's a game changer, as I say in that video, because oh gosh, it just makes things so much easier. I'm going to use the same color embroidery floss that will match my background. I may or may not do that for all of them. I'm also doing a blanket stitch. I'm showing you my struggles as I started out, because we all have those moments where things just don't go as easily as you would hope. So I'm leaving it there. But I wanted to say that first of all, my thread was too long. I don't like to start and stop, but in this case, it was just too long. I made it work, but I will definitely do things differently with the other pieces. And then the other thing is, rather than sew with all of these pieces pinned down, I got smart and I took a screenshot of the layout, and then I took them off so that I could just hold the fabric a little more easily, and it just made the sewing so much more enjoyable, which is really what this is all about. So you've got to do what works for you, and but don't get frustrated and give up. Press on, because it always pays off in the end. One down and 5 to go. Once I got my act together, it really did run smoothly and was thoroughly enjoyable. So I'm going to keep going and hope you'll enjoy the results. So as I'm going along here, I'm thinking of different things, and I thought, let me stop and just take some time to share those thoughts with you, because I think they're helpful. This project is not something that I've seen, so I'm really making it up as I go along. And what often happens when I do that is my creative sparks will start shooting off, and I'll think, oh my gosh, I could have done this, or I'll do this the next time. And that to me is just as much fun as what I'm doing here, which is creating as I go along. So this particular signature, like each page is just gonna have one of these little mini art collages on it. But in my next signature in this little booklet, I think what I might do is have one collage on one page, and then on the other page maybe embroider or hand sew words of sentiment or quotes or a Bible verse or something like that. I might even decide not to have the second signature be a zine like I did with this one. I might just have it folded and open up differently. That's the beauty of projects like this, is there's no right or wrong, and you really do create as you're creating, if that makes any sense at all. So now all I have to do is fold it up and just kind of adjust the pages so that they're kind of sitting relatively nicely. Again, not going for perfection, because if that's the case, I'd have to do this all over again and it wouldn't be as much fun. So I like it just as it is, and yeah, I think it's going to be ready to pop into my cover. So I love the fact that I left length on this journal cover, because when I line this signature up with the markings, I can see that I definitely have enough fabric to fit at least one, hopefully two more signatures that are similar thickness to this one. And I think I'm just gonna have an adorable little fabric journal. So we'll see how it goes, but I'm having a great time. And again, my next signature, I think I'm gonna design it a little differently. And if I think it's worth it, I'll record that as well.